Alright, so let's be honest, making KPIs in Maximo can be a little difficult. You need to know a few things about database queries so that you can pull that data into the KPI. Let me show you a couple of tricks that might help you enjoy some success. My name is John of TRM and another Feature Friday, so let's get started. So start out by logging yourself into Maximo or Manage and go right to the KPI manager that's under administration. There will most likely be a pre-existing list of KPIs that you can use as examples. Today, we're just going to go right to creating a brand new one. So our KPI today is going to simply give us the count of active corrective maintenance work orders, something you generally want to keep to a minimum. So let's just give the KPI a name. We'll just call it Test CM. And of course, give it a good description. I'm going to say counts CM work orders. If you know Maximo and SQL statements, you can just start typing the select and where clauses directly into these two boxes. However, here are a couple of tricks to help make this necessary information easier to sort out. Let's get the select box out of the way. Since we're looking to just count work orders, all we need in the select box is a statement similar to select count all from work order. This tells the KPI to draw records from the work order table in the database. You must enter the word select to start the select statement. This part's done. Bit of a side note here. You cannot save a KPI if there's an error in the statements or if the configuration is not complete. Take this one step at a time, saving as you go. Because as you'll see in the next steps, you're going to be going to other places in Maximo while you're building your KPIs. So now let's take a look at the where clause. As you can see, that looks a little messy. But you don't have to build these by hand. Let us show you the trick. So now go to the work order tracking application and filter for work type is CM. If you have records in the system that meet this single criteria, then your list view will populate. Now go find the actual where clause that returned this list. So go to the where clause menu option. This opens the where clause that was created behind the scenes when you executed your query. Copy paste this clause into something like a text document, if you will. There's two side notes here. One is that as a user, you need to be granted the authority to see the where clause. And the second one is get used to copy pasting where clauses from your applications into text documents. You will use this quite a bit to then copy paste the where clause into the box on the KPI. Okay, so now go back to your partially saved KPI and just copy paste the where clause into the box. Just like the select statement, be sure to add the where word at the beginning of the clause. Then just go ahead and save the KPI. If you get a SQL error message and you're not able to save the KPI, this can be really frustrating. Also, the only guidance that you get about what could be wrong with your statements is buried deep in the Maximo system logs. You might need to work with your IT folks or your cloud host to gain access to those. This is generally the point where people get frustrated with creating KPIs. Getting the select and where clauses exactly right so you can save the KPI. Okay, so the hard parts are done. Now you just have to set the parameters that form the red, yellow, and green areas of the KPI. So the target is your goal, and that is the gray pointer that you'll see on the KPI. Just for fun, let's say we want 0 CM work orders in our system. Caution is the point where green turns into yellow. Let's say we want to worry when we have 5 CM work orders. Alert is where yellow turns to red. Let's say we want no more than 8 CM work orders. Then go ahead and save the KPI again. So now go ahead and step off the KPI record, refresh your list, go back into the KPI, go over here and click Update, and you can see the dial. It's reflecting the count of your current CM work orders. The large gray arrow is the count, where you're at with things. Looks like we've got some work to do. As you saw, when you open the KPI, you can manually update it. Or you can have a cron task running in the background that wakes up at some frequency and updates all of the KPIs in your system. Go to System Configuration, Platform Configuration, and Cron Task Setup to locate the KPI cron task. By default, it's set to run once a day. Make sure it's active. So that's just scratching the tip of the iceberg. KPIs can be a lot more sophisticated than this, but at least now you know where all the hard work is, the select and the where clauses. Make friends with someone who knows how to query Maximo, and then the sky's the limit as far as the metrics that you can build. Yes, you can always view the KPIs in the KPI viewer, but you can also put them on your start centers as well. Thanks so much for watching. Hope that was helpful.